This is the 6 tiger sharks we've had tagged. I should have had the boats here, but this is, this one was the 100 kilo one off Botany Bay that you guys tagged. Yep. And that tag was out on the shark for 58 days. Oh, by the way, the tiger sharks had not really been tagged with these tags before. We got the money for this from the Recreational Fishing Trust, from saltwater fishing licences. And we wanted to really know whether, the tiger sharks are not here in winter, although we're talking again at dinner about this, and maybe some of them are, but basically we know they turn up when the weather warms up, when the water warms up, and when the water cools off, they go somewhere else. So the idea of this is, let's find out a bit more about tiger sharks because they're a pretty important target species. And so 58 days was pretty good, but that shark had only apparently moved 20 kilometres. This one was on for 48 hours, 48 days, and that was tagged by Daniel Williams and Matty Goshen of Razorback, that's right. And it was actually recaptured near New Caledonia, which was a real surprise because we suspected that tiger sharks would move up and down the continental shelf, that they're a creature of the continental shelf, and most of the research that's been done on them in the past suggests that's too. This one just, the second one we had just moved straight across open ocean for quite a big distance. Yeah, this was the first one, that's right. This was Esteban, or what did you call it?
Ernesto.
Ernesto, yeah. It actually moved offshore as well, 300 k's southeast, and it was in very deep water when it popped off. So, these sharks are not in contact with the bottom when they're crossing the ocean, at least we don't think they are. So that's the summary of those so far. As you can see, we had 2 of them washed up, which was good. We've since had new batteries put in those, and we've got another 4 tags with new batteries, and we're really hoping to get a few more of these put in this season. It's been more difficult than we expected to get these tags put in because the sharks haven't cooperated, the weather hasn't cooperated. But what this has shown, which I think is great, is that this is a viable method for sticking tags. When we said to some of the other scientists, we're going to, recreational anglers are going to catch these fish on normal game fishing tackle and stick a tag in, they went, it won't work, you need to have the fish under more control than that. But it did work, and all of those 6 fish all survived. And they were the 6 fish that were tagged. There weren't any failures of tags or anything like that. All the tags went in, and even though these popped off after a short time, what we think might be happening, by the way, here is that tiger sharks that might be rubbing the tag off on the bottom, on reef. They think that because that's happened in Hawaii for sure, so we're a bit worried about that. Anyway, this is the map of just showing that one that went up off New Caledonia. It actually came off in the middle of a really huge atoll up there, which must be an amazing place. But you get onto Google Earth and it's this fantastic sort of remote, huge bank. It's about 100 kilometres long and about 40 kilometres wide. And this popped up right in the middle of that bank. So that tiger shark presumably knew where it was heading. And we had this other one that was tagged by Greg Berea off Shell Harbour. And it went down past the Victorian, sort of pretty well level with Bass Strait. And this was sort of fairly late in the season, so it's a bit enigmatic. We didn't expect those sharks to move offshore. We didn't expect them to go south. So the information we're going to get from analysing these is terrific. I was hoping to get a lot more analysis done on these tags before tonight, but it's turned out that it's a really big task to get the information analysed, and it'll take a fair while. But we did pull out the depth information on that tag that was out for 58 days, only moved apparently 20 kilometres from point A to point B. This was a 100 kilo female tiger shark. What this shows is that it spent a lot of time in shallow water. 35% of its time was spent within 10 metres of the surface. Now that's really interesting. Now, we don't know whether that means it was in 10 metres of water and the bottom was 10 metres down, or if it was out off the shelf and it was just swimming along mostly at 10 metres below the surface. We'll get a bit more information from the light data. But it certainly means that they're up near the surface most of the time here. But the really interesting thing was this long tail of really deep water diving behaviour. This 100 kilo tiger shark. And you can't see it here, but the data actually shows not only did they get down to 500 metres, but it got down to 800 metres plus on 3 or 4 days during that 58-day period. 3 or 4 days it went down to 800 metres, 6 or 7 days it went down to over 700 metres. So it means it has gone off the shelf, for sure, because otherwise it would be at the bottom. And when it was down there, this is wrong actually, the temperature was 6 degrees Celsius, because as I say, the tags tell you what the temperature is. So these sharks are actually going down into really cold water, not necessarily staying down there for very long, but they're going down there for a reason. They're not just doing it for fun, presumably, and it's probably doing it for food, squid or whatever, and hunting around, and then probably get a bit cool and they come back up to warm up again. So, you know, really neat information that you're seeing that for the first time. We only just dug that out of the tag a couple of days ago.